Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the June 12th Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a Little Time for Myself. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I will take a moment and look this over. The question is, how does step 10 help me manage my expectations? So step 10 is continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. So this person was working their step 10 and realized that they were irritable and unreasonable at some point during the day. And they got frustrated with themselves. But their sponsor helped them to do an inventory on the inventory. And what this person realized is that they had unrealistic expectations of themselves. So step 10 actually became a useful tool for them for dealing with their daily life. Today's reminder: we will likely lose our serenity at some point in the day, but we don't have to get upset with ourselves. We can put what's bothering us in an inventory and ask our higher power for help. The quote is from Courage to Change. There's a difference between what we expect and what we need. So how does step 10 help me manage my expectations? The step 10, the continual inventory I suppose helps me be reflective. And when I think I have a resentment, I can always look for the expectation, because for me, many times the cause of a resentment is an expectation. So I can work backwards. If I'm irritable, was I irritable because I expected something that was unreasonable? And I may be wrong in this statement, because I'm wrong all the time. Not all the time, but I'm wrong often, which is fine, because I'm always learning. But I don't even remember what I was going to say now. Oh my gosh. I was going to say that it is usually an unrealistic expectation on my part, either of myself or of a situation. I'm just realizing that I've said this many times before, but there's just so much I don't know. Like, my stepmom and my dad are going through this, trying to get it. She's been discharged from the hospital for 5 days, and the visiting nurse is finally coming today, because my father has had to call multiple times to get get things moving. Like, it wouldn't, I don't think it would have happened if he didn't keep on them. And I can get very upset by that because it's unfair, it's not right. And side note, this is not political as far as party. This is the way our government works things is that our Congress people do not have the same insurance that we have. They have their own insurance plans. So they have, and it's really good. So they have no motivation to like make anything better in the healthcare system. I'm pretty sure this is just a fact. And I've, when, I experienced it 15 years ago with my son when he was in his worst crisis state. And we were actually escorted out of the hospital because they wouldn't help us. And he was going through withdrawal, and they didn't have any beds. And the rehabs, rehab for he was detoxing, and the rehabs did not have any beds, and they kicked us out of the hospital. It was horrific. And now seeing my dad just trying to get a visiting nurse to the house for my stepmother, who the hospital said all this would be in place before then. Before she was discharged, they said everything would be in place. It didn't happen. So, like, is that an unrealistic expectation? I don't know. Is it a reasonable expectation? Should I just accept things as they are and try to be serene with that? I don't know the answer. But I can tell you that, talking about it, I can feel my heart changing its pattern, my heart rhythm changing its pattern. Because it's something that I've experienced more than once, and it's not getting any better. So back to the question, step 10, how has step 10 helped me manage my expectations? I think that, like I said, it does make me reflective, and I want to keep my expectations in check, but I still, maybe sometimes my expectations aren't unreasonable, like in this situation. And maybe, our experience has just been really crappy because, people dropped the ball or didn't do their job. I don't know. I don't know the answer. But talk about a real life application of a daily reading. Bingo. All right. Oh, this page has a tab on it. I'm going to read this. This is about step 10 too. I love how they do that. Beautiful. This person thinks of step 10 as a gentle, warm, and loving way to take care of themselves. They promptly admit when they were wrong, and they clear out unwanted attitudes. Living one day at a time, leaving yesterday's stuff in the past. If something that they're carrying with them is not productive, then they can drop it and walk away with a lightness of spirit. I love that phrase, a lightness of spirit. And it doesn't say, actually, it's funny. Higher power is not mentioned in this reading at all. But I guess the thing that helps to drop it and release it is to give it to our higher power. So today's reminder, quiet reflection, helps us to release things that no longer serve us. And the quote is from In All Our Affairs. We have an opportunity to clean the air and start again, fresh and free. Oh, I love that phrase. Oh, that is beautiful. Yes. And I guess, I guess that means, in my stepmom and my dad situation, it means, I guess, just continuing the good fight and advocating for her and him, because he's the caregiver, and just not giving up and just pressing forward with what is right. It is truly, I've said this the last couple of days, I know, but it is truly one of those things that could drive a person insane, because it's so wrong. It's so wrong. But there are a lot of things like that in life that somehow I guess we just have to manage in the healthiest way we can. It's not easy, but we have our program, and I have you with your beautiful, supportive comments and emojis, and it really, I feel like we have a very small, quiet community, but it's important. It's valid, it's important, it's there, and I'm so grateful. We'll close out with the serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Sending you love. In fact, I'll see you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.